1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black out the Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Gotta find my joint up. I miss you. 3 times. Yeah. Sticking to the code, all these for the street. I put it in her nose, it's gonna make her leak. Toad ain't gonna wake up at they sleep. You can't hear that switch, but you can hear them dreams. All my 20 carat ring, I put my fingers down her throat. If I lose a carat, she might choke. I know she gon' swallow, she'll go. Free bend, bring the rats in. Got the shooters in the corner, like the pack in. She think cause she's at it, she attractive. That's that get you put up at the section. And the model still the same. Ball like I won a championship game. You know these hungry, they gon' for a name. I put her on the game, she get for a chain. Got your girl.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And tonight, we're unpacking a lot. We're getting into Metro Boomin's. Shout out to him for this track, though. Metro Boomin's controversial RIP tweet to Hulk Hogan. Hey, I remember exactly what Hulk Hogan said, though. But that's what we're going to get into. We're also talking Gary Owen. He is talking about the difference as a white man between bringing a black woman home and if one of his sisters had brought home a black man. So we'll get into those comments. And we're talking Tyra Banks. She's sounding like an episode of Fear Factor or something. I just have to say, Tyra, no. But she recently revealed that she stays snacking on crumbs that are in a peculiar place. So we're going to get into those details. Also, Ramir Saddleworth, you know, that is the man that was attempting to sue Jay-Z, claiming that he is his son. Well, he dropped an Instagram live. So you're going to get to hear from Ramir himself, why he dropped the lawsuit, and what his plans are moving forward. So let's get into all of that. But before we do, you know, have to start the night off with a couple of conversation starters, things that you should be aware of that might be hitting the timeline. So first up, we know Diddy's in jail. We know what he has been convicted of. But recently, according to court documents, they were obtained by Megan the Reporter, Megan Cuniff on Instagram. Prosecutors have until Thursday, August 1st, to respond to Diddy's request to be released on $50 million bail while awaiting sentencing. Obviously, we know he's been in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center since September 2024. He was convicted earlier this month on 2 counts of prostitution as it relates to illegal sex work. And if granted, he'll be returned to house arrest at his Miami estate for sentencing in October. So we'll see what happens with that. My guess is they're probably going to say no again, but we'll see what happens. And speaking of related, but not, we talked about earlier, a few months maybe, that Mary J. Blige was being sued by her former BFF, Misa Hylton, who is Diddy's oldest son, Justin's child's mother. Her company, MIA Misa Management, MISA, managed a rapper named Vado, and he was signed to Mary J. Blige's label. So Misa filed a lawsuit against Blige, claiming that she was blocking the progress of his album, releasing music, and a bunch of other things worth $5 million. Blige's attorney has responded and called the suit utterly meritless and accused the plaintiffs of trying to stir up media drama. The team also argued that MISA isn't even a valid legal entity and that Hylton wasn't a party to Vado's contract with Blige's label, Beautiful Life Productions. So the lawsuit alleged that Mary was blocking Vado's album and touring as a tactic to pressure him into leaving Misa's management company. Now, if you remember, Misa was a stylist back in the day. She started off styling Uptown videos with Diddy. Mary was one of her early clients and BFFs. I think Little Kim maybe early on as well, and others. And they were tight, thick as thieves until this situation. Blige wants full dismissal, damages, and her legal fees paid. And oh, by the way, it is rumored that Misa is dating the rapper Vado, thereby causing at least some of the confusion. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. We're going to talk about Metro Boomin's tribute and defense of Hulk Hogan and get your opinions on it. All that more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time. Whenever news breaks, while we're on the air, it's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580. And we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, Member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So grab your snacks, your beverages, as we get into these trending topics for the evening. Now, one other thing that I wanted to mention, that I thought this was an interesting story, especially given some of the behavior that we have seen athletes do while on field or on the court. So NFL player Christian Wilkins has been cut from the Las Vegas Raiders because of a playful kiss incident. So the Raiders have claimed that this is in the best interest of the organization. According to ESPN, this is what went down. Wilkins allegedly kissed a teammate on the forehead during a team meeting, and the teammate reported it to HR, calling it uncomfortable rather than funny. An internal investigation followed, and the Raiders released him. Now, this is the same sport where we've seen guys pat each other on the butt after a good play or whatever. I don't know. Obviously, the context was meant to be a joke of some sort. I think forehead kisses don't signify romance, generally speaking, but I understand how it can make someone uncomfortable. But this individual actually went to HR. Wilkins had a 4-year, $110 million contract in March with $84.75 million guaranteed. So releasing him now, the team avoids paying the $35 million of that final deal, right? So it does save the team some money. And they also claim that the decision was partially factored in by a prior foot injury and his refusal to undergo a second recommended surgery. But I just thought this was an interesting case where NFL HR is stepping in. It doesn't say, again, like the context of the conversation, what was happening. There's no real, depth to what the incident was, but do you think that that was the appropriate action? And if he was, let's say, perhaps a key player, I'm not familiar with him and his on the field stats, but if he was a more prominent player, do you believe that they would have taken the same action?
No. Got me thinking about Shaq. Different sport, but you know how playful Shaq is. He's pulling down his shorts. He's kissing you in the lips. He's kissing you on the forehead. I don't think they would have cut somebody of his stature loose. But same like you. Never heard of this dude, Christian Wilkins. I mean, I rock with football, but he ain't that prominent for me to.
I mean, his contract was quite hefty, $84 million guaranteed in the NFL, not for long.
Whoever he kissed is probably a prominent individual who got some juice. Could
be. Forensic accountant says he is a key player. Shout out to the chat, because our chat gets it bustling under. So, I mean, listen.
He must be a Raider fan.
Are you a Raider fan, forensic accountant? So, before we get too deep in the weeds, remember, you can call in if you want to join this conversation, 800-920-1580. Of course, hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. Hit me up personally at Stiletto Jill. And you see the YouTube chat is already going. They're so informative. Chat. Shout out to them. And get up with the app. There's a lot of things that you can do there, lots to explore. Tap into that. Now, back to this. Royal Jenkins in the chat says, Shaq did that to Tracy McGrady, kiss him on the forehead in the All-Star game. Moments like that are exactly what I was thinking of. Like, clowning, playful, even, if there's some other conversation happening that might be cutting a little deeper, I think of that as the jokester teammate or the friendly teammate. I'll have to look up his stats to see. Forensic accountant says Cowboys since 1977. So he's a Cowboys fan. My condolences. But, Listen, we all have our flaws. It's okay. It's okay, really. But I just thought this was an interesting case. I'm curious to see, since we now know that he is a key player, if another team will pick him up or if this has kind of taken some shine off of him as far as locker room antics and tactics, because we have seen that type of thing happen. And also, again, since me not being familiar with him, I'm not sure how many years into his career he is, because that also plays a factor. If they feel like he's towards the end or that injury is something really serious and not just a smokescreen to add on to this, I'd be curious to see what happens next.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Especially right now.
Professional settings, keep your hands to yourself, like you said.
Do you even handshake or do you just fist bump?
I mean,
do you ask, are you a hugger? Like, what do you do?
Man, those are some legitimate questions nowadays. Because, you know, if you were to go ahead and reach for a hug, who knows? You might be dealing with somebody, oh, don't touch me, and they go run ahead to HR. So, you know what? To be safe, to CYA, ask. Well,
you know, that's what it is. All right, so let's get into Metro Boomin, right? Metro Boomin wants some more. He recently got into a little social media conversation, hot water for some. So this was his tweet, plain and simple, or his X, whatever you call it, social media posting. Rest up, Hulkster. And then the rest of his tribute to Hulk Hogan seemed to set X on fire. The backlash, you know, was pretty swift, reminding everyone about the 2015 leak where Hulk was using the N-word and had lots of comments like, if my daughter's gonna screw a ninja, he better be 8 feet tall and worth $100 million. That got Hulk kicked out of the WWE Hall of Fame and essentially kind of canceled. But as we know, all things come back around. People forgive, right? And that's okay, I suppose. Well, it is. You know, you want people to grow and learn from it. I don't know if he did, but whatever. He was out for a while. He was let back in. And, you know, Metro responded to a lot of the commentary because that was the approach from a lot of people. How can you be in support of this man? And we've had this conversation about a lot of people, not just racists. We've had the conversation surrounding artists and a lot of things that in the past people might have just had a disagreeing opinion on are now polarizing. And we are publicly dealing with these battles because we can see and have access to everyone's thoughts and opinions to further that. So Metro's response was, for sure, you know, I know that. I didn't agree with a lot of things he did, but as a Christian, I believe in forgiveness, right? Probably not Drake. I didn't ask. I don't know if anyone else did in the thread. I'm just saying. But some fans did not respect his stance, and they continued to drag him for ignoring the very public and vicious nature of Hulk's racism for some. Others are like, look, who he is as a person is not what he represents to me in my childhood. Respectfully, I understand the harm that may have been caused by the language he used. We don't know throughout the years if there are incidents or individuals who feel as though he treated them in some different form or fashion based on his thoughts. But what he meant to, and when I say me, I'm not talking about me, Jill, because I didn't watch wrestling. I knew who Hulk Hogan was, but I don't have an attachment to that. But I do have attachment to some things that people probably are in at least a complicated state over, i.e. the Cosby Show, right? Especially now. Meaning there are people that feel like because Bill Cosby was involved and he may have allegedly done some of the acts he has been accused on while on the set of the Cosby Show, while casting or, you know, people, whatever the case may be, it is fruit of the poisonous tree, therefore something that you should now reject. People feel that way about R. Kelly's music. Some people have felt that way about Michael Jackson. There's a long list of things, right, that we can throw into that pile. So I say that to say I do understand why people are like, nope, can't do it, not moving off of my square, right? Allegedly, I believe it was one of the personalities on this station, D.L. Hughley, that talked about in a video that one of Hulk's daughters was estranged from him based off of the commentary that he gave around black people. She did not respect it and changed her relationship with him because of it. So again, no one's wrong in this situation. Everybody's right in the room in this instance. But it's just we are at such a high point when it comes to politics, when it comes to race, when it comes to where you are standing and who you are standing in support of. You can't really get by without the critiques. And we know that's what makes up social media as it is. However, I do question, and again, you can do whatever you want with social media. Everybody feels how they feel for whatever reason that they may have those feelings. But did you need to bring it to social media? Is it a feeling, a thought, a declaration that you could have explored with your close and personal friends? Or maybe put it in the green circle on Instagram. I don't know. I'm just saying. Again, not to quelch self-expression, and individuals are allowed to use social media the way that they please for the most part, and that includes public figures. But much like the discussion around Karrueche and Deion Sanders yesterday, with some saying, but oh my God, he's talking about his bladder cancer and survival, and you're focused on Karrueche Tran. Well, yes, because they don't live in a vacuum. They know what it's hitting for, and you also know what you are doing by putting these images or these statements, whatever the case may be, out there unprovoked and expecting full acceptance for it, no questions asked. I think that's a little unrealistic. Andy?
I think what probably encouraged Metro Boomin to, make a statement online, he's a wrestling fan, for those who don't know. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, so I know. He's actually done some work with the WWE fairly recently.
Okay.
Working with certain wrestlers on some of their entrance musics or whatnot. So I think him being a part of that community, he just felt like he needed to say something. And considering the figure that Hulk Hogan was, even for me, I wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for him. A lot of the cast that's wrestling now, probably wouldn't be wrestling now if it wasn't for him. So I just think that it was just that tiny level of respect right there. And that was it.
I mean, and again, I understand that era. Hulk Hogan was a dog. He was a cultural movement. Did I say dog? I meant doll. But he was a dog too, I suppose, to some. Although I've heard that his wrestling skills, when you line him up against some, he wasn't the greatest wrestler, but that personality, that aura, that star power, and what he did for the sport as an ambassador of such made up for that. And we see that all the time when it comes to entertainment, actors, actresses, singers. Charisma is a thing. It's a factor. And when they talk about the it factor, some people just got it. They do. And again, I can respect his love for his childhood and wanting to speak out. I do think sometimes, he didn't come out and say, I believe in everything Hulk Hogan stood for. Sometimes I think that we need to apply nuance to some of this, and the refusal to do so sometimes baffles me, to be honest. And I just wonder if social media has caused us to lose a bit of that.
100% it has.
It's strange to me that people take some things and can't put the context around it and know when to sound the alarm and when to kind of relax a bit. I have a subject that we're going to talk about that involves that, but that's for tomorrow. Andy?
To be fair, I'm sure there was a lot of people who were fans of Hulk Hogan, and then when they heard that it crushed them. So, you know, considering what he probably meant to a lot of people, this is pain. This is pain. Now, it sucks when it comes to death that, you know, people want to air the dirty laundry. Kobe got the smoke too.
He did. He
you know
did.
what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm rocking with Kobe. I mean, I can't dismiss what happened in Colorado, but it's like, it just sucks that, you know, when it comes to death, instead of, you know, in the individual, maybe the highlights being expressed, you know, a lot of people, sometimes they tend to go to the low lights. It's unfortunate.
Because they feel like they don't want it to be overshadowed. And if you think about some of the things like we, and when I say we, I mean as a Black culture, have spoken up in our voices when, you know, a racist has passed that maybe some revere. So once again, I understand the sentiment and where the feeling comes from. It's just some things hit differently for others. But I do think we need to maintain at times and apply a little nuance and a little context if you can. When we come forward, we're going to get into Gary Owens and his conversation around interracial dating. And, you know, he had some interesting things to say, probably things that we're aware of, but we like to hear people say things sometimes because it feels factual. So we're going to get into all of that and more on the other side. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem. Clicking up, but cannot be legit, no 40 water, tell him. Yeah, get up with me. Sneak this in first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like rap this Melly Mel if I had to. Got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Lost too many soldiers not to play it safe. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location. I still got PTSD. Mother the big 3. It's just big me. Boom.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Authorities are investigating why Shane Tamura opened fire in a Manhattan office building, killing 4 before taking his own life.
Hats off to the men and women of the New York City Police Department and our partners for immediately going in the building, going floor by floor, doing a search, looking for any incendiary devices.
That's Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Police say the former high school football star left a note blaming CTE and asked for his brain to be studied. Attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs are asking a judge to release him on $50 million bail ahead of his October 3rd sentencing. He was convicted of prostitution-related charges but acquitted of sex trafficking. And former President Obama says Gazans are dying of starvation and urged aid access even without a ceasefire. President Trump claims Hamas is stealing supplies and says the U.S. will set up food centers in Gaza. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Hawthorne loading up 105 eastbound away from the 405. You're on the brakes and stretches all the way to Lakewood Boulevard. And the northbound side of the 605 slows in Norwalk, leaving the 105 freeway. That's a heavy drive ahead all the way to the 10. Pasadena, eastbound side of the 210, slows from the 134 all the way to Azusa. More slowing in Upland from just past Baseline as you roll towards the 15 freeway.
Spending 2 hours staring at the back of someone's bumper isn't the best way to end your day. So Jack in the Box is giving you a bonus with their new Bonus Jack Combo. Fries, a drink, and a burger with your choice of 1, 2, or 3 patties, starting at just $4.49. Get so much more.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Interesting night tonight for the LA Sparks. They're at home against the Las Vegas Aces. The Sparks, now 11-14, are trying to win 6 in a row for the first time since 2023. The Sparks' 5-game winning streak is the longest active streak in the WNBA. 7 p.m. tip-off at Crypto.com Arena. If you can't make it to the game, NBA TV has live coverage. Troubling times for the NFL's headquarters in New York City. Investigators believe the gunman who killed 4 people Monday in a Manhattan office building, including a New York City policeman, may have been trying to get to NFL personnel in the building. Police found a note on the shooter who killed himself after the attack, blaming the NFL for his brain trauma. The shooter, identified as Shane Munroe of Las Vegas, was not a former NFL player. One of the shooting victims is an NFL employee, but doctors said the person is expected to recover. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Give people what they want.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black out the Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gotta let Mike rock. Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Trying to make sure YouTube don't take us out. Listen, when I was a kid, I thought this video was so magical. The special effects at the time were so far ahead to me. I just thought it was beautiful and aspirational, and this song was magical to me as a little kid. Shout out to the Jacksons, man. Shout out to Andy, because this is a good song. It feels good. It feels like summertime. So shout out to the summer. Okay, so listen. Gary Owens, right? We love Gary Owens, comedian. We know he is, what do we want to call it? He's the Oreo in the milk, right? I don't know. Or the milk for the Oreo. Something. I don't know. But he has an affinity, obviously, for Black culture. He respects it. He has been involved with Black women all of his life. And in a recent conversation with Nick Cannon on, because you know Nick got 50 million jobs, right? On his We Playin' Spades podcast, right? Because he has the new one too, the late night one, which is different from this one and whatever else Nick Cannon has going on in addition to being a dad. He talked about dating Black women. They were having a conversation about interracial dating. Nick is a good person to have that conversation with. And he talked about how it is much different bringing home a Black woman as a white man than it is bringing home a Black man as a white woman. Listen to the conversation.
Was it because of your career and the environment that you started to be like, I like Black women? Or is it
no, I always like that.
It was always like that.
I always like Black
Well,
women.
were your parents ever like?
I don't really, I didn't really care about it. I'm not now.
Well, I mean, I understand that. But you know.
You gotta say if your parents racist. Is what you
I'm just saying a lot of times white parents don't necessarily want to see their kids with other.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
I do
white
think,
race strong.
I will be honest. I think it's a lot easier as the son bringing a Black girl home than a white girl bringing a Black guy home. That would hit different. That's different.
That
so
makes
to
sense.
say one of my sisters brought a Black guy home, the response might have been a little different. Bringing a Black girl, like, all right.
You tapping that?
That's hilarious. That's real though.
I think it's a much easier shock if it's the white guy bringing a Black girl home.
So, I mean, I think we understand why, you know, dad's probably like, attaboy, right? But with their daughter, they're worried about babies and all of those things. Although, you know, they should be worried about that with their son as well. But I guess maybe they feel like that's her problem, not ours. It is not crazy. I understand it, but we are in 2025 and it's still so awkward for those conversations for many people. That's amazing to me. And it also is interesting to me how being invited to the cookout has turned into such a negative thing. And what it used to mean. It used to mean that when they were extending that invite to someone, it was someone who had lived and breathed the culture or the community and had a respectful relationship and understood certain things within it. Now it's like a dog whistle that you're a sellout or something because you are extending grace or you're, you know, honoring those that respect the differences and the things that align us. But I don't know. Again, sticky times, hardcore stances, understandably so, because we are in a very precarious position currently. But, you know, I don't know. Are there any bridges, Andy?
Are we not rocking with Gary Owen anymore?
I don't have an issue. But, well, okay, first up, and you can see it in the chat, Fahima alluded to it. Gary kind of dogged out his ex-Black wife.
Okay,
So-
one anecdotal situation. That's not how he feels about all Black people.
Right, obviously, and so, but, you know, if collectively you get on the wrong side of Black women, they are going to defend a Black woman, and they feel like he was very wrong to her, especially as she held him down, and, you know, there are allegations of infidelity involved, and of course, when is it not? But I think that has changed some in their perspective of him. So there was that. So listen, enough about Gary. Shout out to him. Honesty pays. Let's get into a little bit of Tyra Banks, because this, I know Tyra is very transparent and she talks about her imperfections and flaws, and we appreciate that. But I feel like she could have kept this one in the clip. I feel as though this is not a shareable moment just because it's not sanitary, Tyra. It's just not. Let's hear what she had to say.
I'm not into eating in bed.
No, why not?
Because I don't like crumbs.
The great thing is, a couple days later,
you do not.
A little bit.
A couple days later, you get down in there and
I do. And Jenna, I clean crumbs by eating them.
A week later, you would go in there and eat that.
Yeah, if I knew it was mine in my bed, yeah.
On the ground?
If it's on your ground, I have no shoe rule, so that I can eat off my floor. And then I see my.
So let me tell you what. I have a no shoe rule in my house too. However, Tyra, why are you sleeping with crumbs in your bed for a couple of days? That didn't itch? That wasn't uncomfortable? And then, after it's been rolling around in the bed with you, why would you want to snack on it? Why? Shake it off, dust up, call up your maid. I don't know. I feel like she just could have left that one in the clip because it emphasizes questionable decision making. That's all I'm going to say. It does.
It shows her humanity. That's what it shows.
Listen, it is not that she might be a little messy or that she's not quick to clean up. Everybody has those moments, right? If you aren't a germaphobe or a neat freak, shouldn't bother you that much. But eating food off the floor and from your bed after days, that's not sanitary. That's not healthy. It's unadvisable. What crumb that's been out, exposed to air, in your covers is going to be good 3 days later? None. There's not a food in the world.
It must be good to her.
I guess so. Listen, when we come forward, we are going to hear from Ramir Satterwaith. That is the gentleman who is claiming to be Jay-Z's biological son. He hopped on Instagram Live, and we're going to check out what he had to say.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA
LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back. You're in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So we've been talking about this Jay-Z lawsuit for a couple of weeks. Ramir Satterwhite, 31-year-old gentleman from Philly. His mother passed away. Her name was Wanda, I believe, in 2017. She, after many years of being married, something happened. She told her ex-husband, who Ramir believed was his father, that he wasn't really her son's father. Told Ramir Jay-Z was his father. The man took the DNA test. He was not the father. Jay-Z did not. And they've been chasing him with lawsuits for decades at this point. And Ramir recently had a lawsuit where he wasn't suing to try and get Jay to take paternity. Can't do that at his age. He was suing for harassment, mental distress, etc., etc. And after Jay-Z's lawyer made filings, a 40-page filing about why the suit should be dismissed, Ramir made the decision to withdraw his lawsuit. But according to him, in a recent Instagram Live, he said that he's refiling. And this is what he had to say about what he's up to, the refiling, and all of it, basically.
I did withdraw my case. It's for a reason, y'all. It's not because I'm stopping with it or not going to refile it or anything like that. It's just a lot going on behind closed doors. That's only one case that we withdrew for right now. But it's a lot going on. You know how this industry works. These judges, these lawyers, these high celebrity people, they try to use all different types of tactics and call it what you want, bully tactics and different types of stuff to, you know, slow it down and just change the narrative. So it's like, hey, we got to step back and play chess, not checkers. So we sitting back and we just observing everything right now. I just ask y'all to keep the support. Keep the support. I have not gotten any DNA tests. I have not gotten any settlement, anything like that. I wouldn't just take it. I would let y'all know, honestly, even if it wasn't y'all business. You know, you guys been here for me all these years, supporting me. I wouldn't dare just run away with no money or nothing like that. So, no, that's not what it is. But as I said before, y'all, just keep your eyes open. This is bigger than me. This was never just about me. I'm trying to change things for the world, honestly, for the future. We need this to be changed. We don't need to continue to go in these courtrooms and don't get fair due process and everybody don't get discoveries and you just get treated unfairly. So it's just like, I'm standing on business and, you know, I will continue to fight. So please don't think just because y'all seen that withdrawal is over. It's not over, y'all. Continue to fight with me. Continue to support me. I will support y'all. I love all y'all. And let's just keep moving forward. Let's just do that. That's all we can do, right? Can't sit there and dwell on nothing. As y'all said, I got a family. I got to take care of my family. I'm grown. That's what I do. So it's like, I don't sit there and complain about too much. Try not to complain at all. But what I'm saying is I really appreciate all y'all love and support, and it's not over.
So, Ramir, what are you talking about? You're trying to change the world. How so? How is suing Jay-Z going to change the world and stand for everyone? Please be specific when you make these type of claims, because it's not about paternity anymore. You're not asking for a DNA test because legally you can't. He did make claims on X that Jay-Z has had his DNA Ramirez, since 2011, and things were progressing, but he said that he felt as if someone got into Jay's ear and shut it all down. We don't know if that is true or not. However, you also said that Jay has been harassing you, that's when the harassment started after said DNA was given to Jay. What is it that you are really trying to accomplish? Are you trying to say you're trying to take down the machine? Are you trying to use the RICO defense? What are you refiling to do? You saw what his lawyers put forth and you had to rethink it. I really feel as though this case is kind of unwinnable. But maybe he has some facts that he can bring forth that show a repeated pattern of harassment or the things that he claims. But, I mean, again, nobody has a lock on hairstyles. I do feel, and you can look for the video if you'd like, because it is a video. I saw it on Live Bites Instagram. Shout out to them. I feel as though he's even trying to style himself similar to Jay. Like, all of a sudden, he's growing dreadlocks. What's going on, dude? Really? Are you having an identity crisis? Have you spent so much time tapping into this story that it has done something? I don't know. But once again, should be noted, he wasn't asking for DNA, largely because he probably can't. But what are you actually seeking? Is this not self-imposed pain to a degree? I don't know. We shall see. But again, he's suing for real money, not for resolution of heart and mind. So I just want to keep that out there. Forrest Harrison in the chat says, Jay-Z is my daddy too. Forensic accountant says, man, just spend $69 and do your DNA through Ancestry. A card will pop up in your results eventually if you are a match. That is a valid point, perhaps, if someone from the Carter family does that. And then the second layer to that is if they make their profile open to see what other matches are. It's one format. Morris Phillips says, I need some money some kind of way. Donation, settlement, GoFundMe. He also says, if Jay-Z ever stood next to the kid, the media would have a field day. Jay-Z would be forced to take a DNA test. He would not. And I think that is the point, really, because if you take it for one, the floodgates will open. And I do understand what would be perhaps the motive of Jay to keep that undercover. But I also feel as though at some point you got to go sit on a therapist's couch, if it really is about that and that aspect, and make peace with yourself, because you are spending money you don't have. You continue to get cases thrown out of court because of mistakes you've made in filing or changing facts or wrong jurisdiction. I think at this point it would behoove you to get serious. If you really, really believe in this, make sure all your ducks are in a row and stop making a fool of yourself in that the filings, pulling back, and all of the mistakes. Because at this point, you're going to be out of a lot of money, no resolution, and still with the same unanswered questions, right? Forensic accountant says DNA repository matches have been routinely deemed admissible in court. The police use them often. Again, he is not suing for back child support, the costs related to raising him, or any of those things, because he is of age, well over it. So we will have to see if he does refile, what has happened to it. The thoughts, the conspiracy theories that he was paid off, though, are false, because he said that very clearly. So I don't know. Good luck. We'll see what happens. I just hope he finds peace. And if it is truly about who his father is and not the man that was, I don't know if his father figure, I should say, was a good man, a kind man, what type of life he had growing up. But if that man was any of those things, good, kind, and loving, you also should be appreciative of what was built between the two of you. Don't know what their current status was. Don't know what that individual did once he discovered that the child he believed to be his son for all those years and who he paid child support for, if he cut off that relationship. But it remains to be seen. Listen, thank you for locking in and tapping in each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. You know, we'll be back tomorrow with another banger, translating your timeline, breaking it all down for you, as we always do here on KBLA Talk 1580. Coming up next, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, to hit you in the head with that good dose of reality that everybody needs once in a while. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
They want me to stop. They want me to go. I'm already gone. Then I'm on. Hey, already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Now one more kick. Oh, they want me to fall from the top. They want me to drop. They want me to stop. No, they want me to go. No, I'm already gone. Then I'm on. Already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. These want me to go. Don't they know that I'm gone? They know I'm space shuttle level. They need oxygen, John. Don't they know that they're gone? Don't they know that I yawn? Only time they excitement is when they mention the Sean. You seen single white female when she tied her hair blonde. Sometimes I look at these rappers, the movie remind me of them. Somebody turn these boys off. Don't they know that I'm on? Can't they see that it's foolish to try to kill me with songs? What the fuck are they learning? You killing me softly. You talk me to death. Only thing you could do, Tom. I open the door for them. What else can I do?